Hello everyone, myself Dr. Lakshmi Soujanya, working as an associate professor in the Department of Mathematics from Marri Reddy Institute of Technology and Management. Today we are going to discuss about the method Gauss-Seidal method. In this method, we can solve a system of non-homogeneous equations. Since to solve these non-homogeneous equations, we are using iterations. That's why we can call this method also iterative method or method of successive correlations. So here I am taking three equations with three unknowns. So the equations are a11x plus a12y plus a13z equal to b1, a21x plus a22y plus a23z equal to b2, a31x plus a32y plus a33z is equal to b3. So to solve this system of equations, what we'll do is in the first step, you have to separate one variable from one equation, like first variable from the first equation, second variable from the second equation, third variable from the third equation. So in the first equation, your first variable is x. So here I separated x. Then you will get x value as b11 by a11 minus a12 by a11y minus a13 by a11z. For simplicity, I am taking these values as c1, k12, k13. So we got x value in terms of y and z. Similarly, from the second equation, you separate y, and from the third equation, you separate z. So once you got the values of x, y, z in terms of remaining variables, then you have to start the approximations. So the first approximation, see here, the first equation we have x in terms of y and z. Similarly, y is in terms of x and z. And similarly, z is in terms of x and y. So z is in terms of x and y. So to get the value of x, we need some substitutions for y and z. Similarly, to get the values of y, we need some substitutions for x and z. To get the values of z, we need some substitutions for x and y. So in each and every approximation, you have to calculate the values for x, y, z by taking some substitutions for the corresponding variables. So initially, we don't know any value for x, y, z. So you'll start the iterations with 0 values. That means you have to consider both y and z values are 0 in the first iteration. Then you will get some value for x here. You have to use that x value. Always you have to take the latest values of x, y, z. In the first step, since we don't know any value regarding the solution, I choose in y value as 0 and z value as 0. But by taking y equal to z equal to 0 here you will get some value for x. So you use that latest value of x in this step and take, since still we don't know anything regarding z. So here you have to take z as 0 only. By substituting those two values, you will get some value for y. Now take, here I have x value, here I have y value. Use these two latest values here, x is x1, y is y1, then you will get some value for z. So like that, always by taking latest values for x, y, z, you have to calculate the required approximations or the required solutions. So in second step, in the remaining approximations, you have to repeat the previous step until the two successive values, the two values are equal up to minimum 3 to 4 decimal places. That means here in this approximation, I got one value for x1, x, y, z, like x1, y1, z1. When you are repeating the same procedure, in next step, you will get another value for x, y, z, x2, y2, z2. If x1 and x2 are equal up to 3 decimal places, similarly y1, y2 and z1, z2, then we can stop the procedure and we can take the last value as the solution for the given non-homogeneous equations. So like that, you have to calculate, we can calculate the solution for a system of non-homogeneous equations. But here, we are having one restriction to apply the Gauss-Seidal method. Your restriction is the diagonal values, the set of equations, what are the given equations they have given, those equations are must and should be diagonally dominate. Diagonally dominate means in this equation, a11 value must and should be greater than the absolute values of a12 and a13. Similarly, a22 is must and should be greater than the absolute values of a21 and a23. And here a33 is must and should be greater than the absolute values of a31 and a32. See all these diagonal values. If these values are diagonally dominated, then only we can apply Gauss-Seidal method. If it is not satisfying, then you rearrange the equations till you will get diagonally dominated case. Let us see some problems. See here, I am taking one problem. Solve the following system of equations. 27x plus 6y minus z equal to 85. 6x plus 15y plus 2z equal to 72. X plus y plus 54z equal to 110 using Gauss-Seidal method. So what is the first step? First you have to verify whether the given equations are diagonally dominated or not. So first I am taking the equations. The given equations are 27x plus 6y minus z equal to 85, 6x plus 15y plus 2z equal to 72, x plus y plus 54z is equal to 110. Now verify the diagonal values. First one is 27. Clearly it is greater than 6 and 1. Next 15. In the second equation you have to choose 15. 15 is greater than 6 and 2. In the third equation you have to take third term 54, which is greater than 1 and 1. So in this set of equations, clearly the equations are satisfying diagonally dominated condition. Then you can go with Gauss-Seidal method. So in Gauss-Seidal method, first you have to separate one variable from one equation. Like first variable from first equation, second variable from second equation, third variable from third equation. So here from the first equation, first I will separate x. So I will take these two values to right hand side. Then you will get 27x value as 85 minus 6y plus z. Then here x is equal to, your equation is 85 minus 6y plus z whole divided by 27. Similarly, from the second equation, if you are separating second variable y, then this is 15y is equal to, I will take remaining values to right hand side. So 72 plus 6x, if you are taking right hand side, you will get minus 6x plus 2z, if you are taking right hand side, you will get minus 2z. Then y is equal to 72 minus 6x minus 2z by 15. Next, from the third equation, now you separate z value. So 54z is equal to, take remaining terms to right hand side, then you will get 110 minus x minus y. Now divide the total equation with 54, you will get z as 110 minus x minus y by 54. So let it be equation 1, 2 and 3. So we got x, y, z values in terms of remaining variables. So to get the x, y, z values, now you have to start the approximations. Here I'll do approximations in a tabular form. For simplicity, I'll use tabular form. But before going to the tabular form, you have to enter all the equations in your calculator. Since here the calculation part is very lengthy, by using scientific Casio only, by using these type of Casios only, you can solve the equations. So to enter these equations, here I am taking some example how you have to enter the equations, that I will explain by like this. So now here I am using the Casio of version FX991EX plus. We are having several versions in Casio, but in all the Casios, the entering of the equation is similar way only. So here your first equation is x is equal to 85 minus 6y. Here I am writing the equation x is 85 minus 6y plus z divided by 27. See, to enter this equation, first we need fraction form. In this version, in all fx model, we'll have some fraction button. We can use this fraction button. By pressing that button, you'll get a fraction symbol. Two boxes, you will get like this. On the empty screen, when you press that button, you will get some fraction box. So in the numerator, in this box, you have to type 85 minus 6y plus z, and in the denominator you have to type 27. In the similar way, the same equation you can express in this place. So to get that value, here I will explain how the values will be getting in the screen and how you have to enter this, by using which buttons you have to enter this, that I will write here. So first one, you press fraction button. So in your calculator, you just press fraction button, and in the numerator, now the cursor will shows here, you will get some cursor symbol here. Here you have to start typing. So first one, 85. So here we are having numbers, you just press 8 and 5, then you will get 85 in the numerator. Then minus sign, press minus button, you will get minus sign. See in the screen, on the screen, once you got the fraction button, fraction symbol, while you are typing, it shows 85 minus, next 6y. You just press 6 button, you will get 6. Now you have to press y, alphabet. See here, we are having some alphabets like X, Y, M, A, B, C, D, E, F. We are having some set of alphabets in your calculator. To get that alphabet on your screen, calculator screen, here we are having one button, alpha button. By pressing alpha button and the corresponding variable, you will get that variable on the screen. See, first you press alpha button. Then, see, we need Y. So, here we are having Y. So, you use S double implies D button. Then, after pressing alpha button, then you press S double implies D. Then, you will get Y value on your screen. Like 6. After that, you will get Y value on your screen. Next, plus Z. Now press plus button, then you will get plus on the screen. Then we need Z, but we are not having Z in this calculator. In high-end version, you have Z variable also. Since here I am not having Z, instead of Z throughout the calculation, I will use C button. So C means here we have C. So you just press alpha button, and here on hyperbolic functions for hyper you are having C. So press alpha and then you press hyperbolic function. Then you will get C here. Okay, now in the denominator we have to enter 27. To enter 27, I'll just press right arrow or down arrow. Then you will get cursor here at this position. Here you type 27, just press 2 and 7. Then you will get 27 here. Like that, you have to enter the equation. Now, on the screen, you will get this form, 85 minus 6y plus c by 27. Here, you will get this form. Once you have this equation, then see here you are having calc button, CALC. You just press calc button, then you will get y question mark. It asks the value of y. See, initially I told you that you have to take y equal to 0. Take 0 equal to. Then it asks C question mark. C is nothing but your Z value. Initially you have to choose 0. So just take 0 and then press equal to. Then you will get the value as 85 by 27. This is our x value. Like that you have to enter the equation. Now see on the screen you have this equation. Here now you are having 85 minus 67 plus C. 85 minus 67 plus C by 27, and here you will get the answer like 85 by 27. Your first equation is completed without closing or pressing AC button. Don't use this button. Don't off your calculator. Again you retype a new equation. Why? Because you have to enter the second equation, third equation also. We just enter the first equation. We calculated only x value. To get the values of y and z at a time, you have to run 3 equations. Now, what is the second equation? Your second equation is y is equal to 72 minus 6x minus 2z by 15. Your second equation is y equal to 72 minus 6x minus 2z by 15. So, this is the second equation. Again, you enter the equation here. Now, on the screen, we need 72 minus 6x minus 2z by 15. How you will get that value? First, you have to press fraction button. Then, you will get fraction symbol on the screen. You will get the symbol like this. Then, you enter the numerator value. Your cursor is here. So, first you type the numerator value. Your numerator is 72. Just press 7 and 2. Then you will get 72 here. Minus, press minus button. Then 6x. Press 6 button. And you need alphabet. For alphabet, what you have to do? You have to press alpha button and the corresponding variable button. Where you are having x, on closed button, closed bracket, you are having x. So, you just press alpha and then closed bracket. Then you will get x here. Next, minus 2z. So now you press 2 again and z, and then press z. Z means we don't have z in your calculator, so use C button. Again you press alpha button, and here hyperbolic you will get C. Then you will get C here. Now you have to enter the denominator. So denominator, for enter the denominator, first you press right arrow, then you will get cursor here. Here you type 50. Just press 1 and 5. Then you will get second equation on your screen. Again you press calc button. Here you have to enter the previous x value. Your previous x value is 85 by 27. So you have to enter 85 by 27 here. And then it asks C by pressing equal to, again it asks C. Since we don't know C value, you have to enter 0 here. Just enter 0 equal to. Then it gives y value. Y value is 478 by 135. Again you don't press AC button. You have to enter third equation. Until completion of the solution, don't press the AC button. You have to do the further calculations. So again I have to retype. So now here y value we got it as 478 by 135. So once you have this type of screen, then again you have to type the third equation. Your third equation is z is equal to 110 minus x minus y by 54. So z is equal to 110 minus x minus y by 54. Yeah, 54. So now you have to type this equation here, that is 110 minus x minus y by 54. For that, first you press fraction button, then you will get fraction button on the screen. Now type the numerator. Your numerator is 110. Press 1 2 times and then 0. Next minus, press minus button, then x. X means you have to press alpha button and the corresponding bracket. Wherever you are having the variable, you have to press that bracket button value. So here on bracket I have x. So press alpha button and bracket, then you will get x. 110 minus x minus y. So on SD we having y. So press alpha button and then press y. Then you will get y here. Now press right arrow, then you will get cursor here. Here you have to enter 54. Just press 5 and 4, then you will get 54 in the denominator. Now on the screen you have 110 minus x minus y by 54. Now you have to calculate the value. So to calculate the z value, again you have to press calc button. Once you press calc button, then it asks x question mark. So your x value is 85 by 27. Your x is 85 by 27. Then you enter 85 by 27 in your calculator. Then it asks y question mark. Here you have to enter y value. Y value is 478 by 135. Now you enter 478 by 135. Then it gives the required z value. Like that you have to do the iterations. So here I just explained how we have to do the calci operations, how you have to enter the equation, how you have to calculate the values of x, y, z. Now we will continue the solution. So after you got 3 equations, you have to start approximations. So I'll do all the approximations in a tabular form. So in the tabular form, here I'll take 3 columns. Your first column is iteration number or approximation number. Your second column is equation number and substitutions. You have to take some substitutions in each and every equation to get the values of x, y, z. That you have to take in the second column. And your third column is required solution. So these are the 3 columns we have to do here. In each and every step, you have to complete these 3 columns. So first, I'll start with first approximation. So in the first approximation, we have 3 equations. First equation, second equation, and third equation. Always for the first equation, you have to take substitutions for y and z. Your second equation is for y, so you have to take substitutions for x and z. Your third equation is for z, so you have to take substitution for x and y. These are fixed. We separated x value in the first equation. So always in the first equation the substitutions are for y and z. Next in the second equation the substitutions are for x and z. In the third equation the substitutions are for x and y. So here when you are taking the substitutions, you just remember that always you use the latest values of x, y, z. In the first approximation, for the first step, since you don't know anything regarding x, y, z, here you take y equal to 0, z equal to 0. So now you enter the first equation in your calci, how I explained like in the previously, like that you enter the first equation. Your first equation is 85 minus 6y plus c by 27. You have to enter this equation in your calci, then press calc button. It asks y value, just enter equal 0 equal to, it asks z value, again you enter 0 equal to, then it gives x value as 85 by 27. Since we are comparing the value up to 3 decimals, again I'll go to the decimal value. By pressing SD button, you will get decimal value, that is 3.1482. I'll take the value up to 4 decimals. Then now you have to calculate the next value. We got x value in the first step. Now we have to calculate the y value in the second step. So to get the y value, we need the substitutions for x and z. See, for x already we have one value, 3.1482. So here you have to take that value 3.1482. Since we don't know any value regarding z, you take z as 0. So first on the screen you will get equation, this equation with x value. Now you enter the second equation. So your second equation is 72 minus 6x minus 2c by 15. This is the second equation. You have to enter this equation in your calculator. Now press calc button, you will get x value. It asks x question mark. Your x value is 3.1482. Then press equal to. You just type 3.1482 in your calci and press equal to. Then it asks z. So your z value is 0 equal to. Now it gives y value as 3.54072. Then in the third equation, we have to calculate z. It asks x and y. You know x value, y value. Latest x value is 3.1482 and latest y value is 3.54072. Then what about in this case? Again you type the third equation. So your third equation is 110 minus x minus 5 by 54. Here you have to press calc button, then it asks x question mark. So now x value is 3.1482 and then it asks y question mark. Your y value is 3.54072. Then you will get z value as 1.9131. See, initially we started the solution with 0. Now we got some values for x, y, z. So your first approximation is completed. Then again you do the next approximation. See, the approximations are common. You have to apply the same procedure. That means you have to take 3 equations. For the first equation, the substitutions are for y and z. For the second equation, the substitutions are for x and z. For the third equation, the substitutions are for x and y. Then you will get the values of x, y and z. This is fixed, but the values which you are substituting is different. So now to get the x value in the second approximation, we required this first equation on your screen. So just press upper arrow. You are having 4 arrows in your calculator. You press upper arrow 2 times, then you will get the first equation on the screen. If you are not press AC button or if your calci is not restarted, then definitely you will get 3 equations on your screen. It stores the 3 equations in your calci. By pressing upper arrow, you will get the first equation 85 minus 6y plus c by 27 on the screen. Again you press calc button. It asks y value. What is the latest value? Now the latest y value is 3.54072. So enter that value 3.54072, press equal to. Then it asks z value, c question mark. Now latest z value is 1.9131. Now you enter 1.9131 and press equal to. Then it gives the x value. Now your x value is 2.4322. Now in the second equation you have to take substitutions for x and z. See here I have 2 values for x. In the first approximation, I have one value. Here I got one value. Which value we have to use here? The latest value. Whatever the value we are getting in the previous step, we have to use that only. So latest value is 2.4322. So here you have to take 2.4322. And z value. Here in these steps, till now we didn't get any z. So you have to use this value only, that is 1.9131. Now you need to get second equation on your screen. Second equation is 72 minus 6x minus 2c by 15. Again press upper arrow 2 times, then you will get this equation. Press calc button. It asks x question mark. X value is 2.4322. Then it asks z value. Z value is 1.9131. Now press equal to. Then you will get y value as 3.5720. Next, you have to calculate z. For z, you have to enter third equation. Again, press upper arrow 2 times. Then you will get this third equation, 110 minus x minus y by 54 on your screen. Now press calc. See, once you got the required equation on the screen, then only you press calc button. So if you press calc button, then it asks x question mark. So the latest value for x is 2.4322 and for y is 3.5720. Now enter these two values. X is 2.4322 and y is 3.5720. Then it gives the z value as 1.9255. Sorry, not 59. So now we got these three values. At each and every approximation, you compare the present value with the previous value. If those values are equal up to 3 decimals or 2 decimals, then only you stop the procedure. See, this is 2 point something, this is 3 point something. There itself it fails the condition. So you have to do next approximation. So in the third approximation, again take 3 equations, 1, 2, 3. What are the substitutions for the first equation? Y, z. For the second equation, x, z. For the third equation, x and y. By taking these substitutions, here you will get x, y, z values. So first, for doing approximation, I'll start with first equation. Press 2 times the upper arrow in your calculator. Then you will get the first equation, 85 minus 6y plus c by 27. Now press calc button. It asks y question mark. What is the latest value for y? That is 3.5720. And for z, the latest value is 1.9259. Now enter these two values in your calc. This is 3.5720 and next z value is 1.9259. Then you will get x as 2.4257. Next, we need x and z. For getting y, we need x and z. In which equation? Second equation. So press upper arrow 2 times. Then you will get the second equation, 72 minus 6x minus 2c by 15 on your screen. Now press calc button. Latest x value. What is the latest x value? 2.4257 and latest y value is 3.5720. So not y value. Here you have to take z value. The latest z value is 1.9259. Now enter these two values in your calc, 2.4257 and z value is 1.9259. Then you got y value as 3.5729. Next, we need z. So to get z, first you have to get third equation on your screen. Press 2 times upper arrow on the screen. Then you will get third equation, 110 minus x minus y by 54. Here you have to take values for x and y. The latest value for x is 2.4257. For y is 3.5729. Then you enter these two values on your screen. That is 2.4257. Next, y is 3.5729. So now your z value is 1.9259. Now see, compare the values for the previous approximation. Here it is 2.42, here it is 2.4. The values are equal up to first decimal only. Next here 3.572, 3.572. The values are equal up to 3 decimal places. Next 1.9259, 1.9259. Here values are equal up to 4 decimal places. Since still the first value, x value is equal up to 1 decimal places, do another approximation and try to compare with the previous value. So I will take the fourth approximation. So here I am taking fourth approximation. And the equation numbers are 1, 2, 3. Substitutions for first equation are y and z. For second equation, x and z. For third equation, x and y. And the required values are x, y, z. So first you need to get first equation on the screen. Press upper arrow 2 times, then you will get first equation on the screen. So here we have to take latest values for y and z. What are the latest values for y and z? 3.5729, 1.9259. 3.5729, 1.9259. Now enter these values in your calci. Y is 3.5729. Z is 1.9259. Then you will get x value as 2.4255. Next, we need x and z. So x and z means here x value, latest value for x is 2.4255. Next, still we don't have any z value. So the latest value for z is 1.9259. Now we need second equation. In second equation, you have to take x and z value. So press upper arrow 2 times on your calci, then you will get second equation. Then press calc button. It asks y value. So it asks x value is 2.4255 and next z value is 1.9259. Then you got y value as 3.5730. Next, we need z value. For z value, now you need third equation on the screen. Press upper arrow 2 times, then you will get third equation on the screen. Here you have to take latest values of x and y. The latest value for x is 2.4255. For y is 3.5730. Now enter these two values, press calc button. X is 2.4255 and y is 3.5730. Then z value is 1.9259. Now compare these values with the previous approximation. In the previous approximation, x is 2.4257, x is 2.425. It is equal up to 3 decimal places. Next, y is 3.572, 3.573. Approximately both are equal. Next, z is 1.9259 and here z is 1.9259, equal up to 4 decimal. So in the fourth approximation, we got the 3 values, x, y, z values are approximately equal with the previous iteration approximation values up to 3 decimals. Then we can stop the procedure and we can give the conclusion that the solution for the given system of equations is the last approximation values. That is x is 2.4255, y is 3.5730, z is 1.9259. If you are doing more approximations, then definitely you will get the solution is equal up to the exact solution. But maximum we'll compare the solution up to 3 or 4 decimal places. So like this, you can solve the system of equations by using iteration method. Here the only thing you have to know how to do the calci operations and how to find the values of x, y, z. In which equation we have to take which substitutions and how you will get the value, that you have to know here. Then easily you will get the solution using Gauss Seidal method. That is another problem. So your next question is 23x1 plus 13x2 plus 3x3 equal to 29. 5x1 plus 23x2 plus 7x3 equal to 27. 11x1 plus x2 plus 23x3 equal to 43 using Gauss Seidal method. First you take the equations. The given equations are 23x1 plus 13x2 plus 3x3 equal to 29. Next one, 5x1 plus 23x2 plus 7x3 equal to 27. Next, 11x1 plus x2 plus 23x3 equal to 43. Now first thing, we have to verify whether the equations are diagonally dominated or not. So in the first equation, you have to take first term 23. Clearly, it is greater than the absolute value of 13 and 3. Next, in the second equation, the second term is 23. It is greater than 5 and 7. The third equation, you choose third term 23. It is greater than 11 and 1. So the equations are in diagonally dominated. Then you can separate the first variable from the first equation, second variable from the second equation, third variable from the third equation. So here if you are separating the first variable from the first equation, you will get x1 as, you take these two values to right hand side and divide the total equation with 23, that is 29 minus 13x2 minus 3x3 by 23. This is the first equation. Similarly, if you are separating x2 value from the second equation, then you will get 27 minus 5x1 minus 7x3 whole divided by 23. This is the second equation. Next, you separate x3 from the third equation. So, for x3, it is 43 minus 11x1 minus x2 by 23. So, this is our third equation. I separated first variable from the first equation, second variable from the second equation, and third variable from the third equation. Now, you do the simplification. So, you have to take approximations in a tabular form. Your first column name is approximation number. Your second column is equation number and substitutions. And your third column is the solution. So these are your columns. To start with first approximation. So here I have three equations, 1, 2, 3. What are the substitutions for the first equation? The substitutions for the first equation are x2, x3. So here you have to take the values for x2, x3. Next, in second equation, the substitutions are x1, x3. So here you have to take x1, x3. In the third equation, the substitutions are x1, x2. x1, x2. On taking these substitutions, you will get the solution as for x1, x2, x3. So to get these values here, since we don't have x1, x2, x3 in your calculator, you use ABC. I'll take x1 as A, x2 as B, x3 as C. In your calc, while you are entering the equations, use the letters alphabets A, B, C for x1, x2, x3. Now, what is the first equation? 29 minus 13x2 minus 3x3 by 23 is our first equation. So, first you press fraction button. Then in the numerator you type 29 minus 13x2. Press 13 into x2. x2 we are choosing as B here. So, press alpha button and then press this symbol. Here you are having the letter B. So, you press that one. Then you will get 13B. Next minus 3x3. x3 we are choosing as C. So, press alpha button and press hyperbolic function. Then you will get C on the screen. Then press right arrow. It will get the cursor in the denominator. Your denominator is 23. Like that you enter the equation 29 minus 13x2, that is 13b minus 2c by 23. So on your screen now you will get equation like 29 minus 13b minus 3c by 23. It appears like this. Now press calc button. It asks B. In the first approximation, since you don't know any value on x1, x2, x3, you take both the values are 0. That means B 0 and C is also 0. Now you will get x value, x1 value, that is 29 by 23. For decimals, you press SD button. It gives the decimal value as 1.2609. So this is x1 value. Then in the second equation, your second equation is 27 minus 5x1 minus 7x3 by 23. Here you have to enter the values of x1, x3. You don't know x1, x3 in a calc, so you enter like 27 minus 5, x1 is A, minus 7, x3 is C by 23. So on the screen, now you have first equation. So without pressing AC button or delete that equation, directly you press fraction button, then you will get a new screen. So on the fraction button, numerator is 27 minus 5 alpha button, and here you use this symbol. There you are having capital A. So then you will get capital A on your screen. Next press minus 7 button and then press alpha hyperbolic function. You will get C. Now press right arrow, enter the denominator. Your denominator is 23. Now here you have to enter the values of A and C, that means x1 and x3. So what is the latest value for x1? The latest value for x1 is 1.2609. Still we don't know anything regarding x3, so take x3 as 0. Now enter these two values, press calc button, then it asks A question mark, A is x1, that is 1.2609. Next C, that is x3, 0. Now you will get x2 value as 0.8998. This is the x2 value. Now in the third equation, your third equation is 43 minus 11x1 minus x2 by 23. That means on screen you have to take 43 minus 11a minus b by 23. So type this equation, press fraction button, enter the numerator, that is 43 minus 11a for a alpha button and this symbol. Next minus b. It is alpha and this symbol, and press right arrow, then you will get cursor into the denominator. There you have to enter denominator as 23. Now press calc button, then it asks the values of A and B, that is x1 and x2. So what are the latest values for x1 and x2? x1 is 1.2609, x2 is 0.8998. So x1 is 1.2609 and x2 is 0.8998. Then you will get x3 as 1.2274. So with this, your first approximation is completed. Now do the second approximation to compare the values. So in the second approximation, again you have to take substitutions for first equation as x2, x3. For second equation are x1 and x3. For the third equation, the substitutions are x1 and x2. Then you will get here x1, x2, x3 values. So now no need to retype the equation. You just press upper arrow 2 times. Then you will get the equations. 3 equations are already saved in your calci. So use that equations. You just press upper arrow 2 times. Then you will get the first equation, that is 29 minus 13b minus 3c by 23. So once that equation is displayed, then you press calc button. It asks b value. What is the latest value for x2? The latest value for x2 is 0.8998 and for x3 is it is 1.2274. So enter these two values, that is 0.8998, press equal to, then it asks c value, that is x3 value. x3 is 1.2274 and press equal to. Then you will get x1 value as 0.5922. Now we have to calculate x2. For x2, again you have to go with second equation. Press upper arrow 2 times. Then you will get the second equation on the screen, 27 minus 5a minus 7c by 23. Now press calc button. The latest value for x1. What is the latest value for x1? 0.5922. And for x3 it is 1.2274. So enter these two values, 0.5922 and next C means x2, x3, that is 1.2274. Then you will get x2 as 0.67162 or 0.6716 is enough. 4 decimals is enough. Next for x3, you have to get third equation, 43 minus 11a minus b by 23 on the screen. Press upper arrow 2 times, then you will get that value. Now here you have to enter the values of x1, x2. So the latest value for x1 is 0.5922, for x2 is 0.6716. So you press calc button and here A is 0.5922, B is 0.6716. Then you got the Z value or x3 value as 1.5571. Now compare all the three. Clearly all the three values are not equal. All are varying at the first decimal itself. So do the next approximation. Let us see the third approximation. In the third approximation, again you have to take three equations, 1, 2, 3. First equations or substitutions are x2, x3. For the second equation, x1, x3. For the third equation, x1, x2. And here you will get x1, x2, x3 values. Again you press upper arrow 2 times. You will get first equation on the screen. Here you have to enter the values of x2 and x3. So press calc button. The latest value for x2 is now 0.6716. For x3 is 1.5571. You have to enter these two values in that equation. That is 0.6716. Next 1.5571. Then you will get x1 as 0.6782. Next, we need x2 value. For x2 value, again you take x1, x3 in the second equation. For second equation, press upper arrow. Then you will get this equation 27 minus 5a minus 7c by 23 on the screen. You press calc button. It asks the values of a and c. A is x1. The latest value for x1 is 0.6782. For x3, the latest value is 1.5571. Enter these two values, that is 0.6782, 1.5571. Then you will get x2 as 0.5526. So now you have to calculate x3. So we need third equation on the screen. Press upper arrow 2 times on the screen. Then you will get the third equation. Here you have to take latest values for x1, x2. The latest value for x1 is 0.6782. For x2, x2 is 0.5526. Now they take the third equation on the screen. Your third equation is 43 minus 11a minus b by 23. Once you got this equation on the screen, then press calc button. It asks a question mark. That is x1 value. x1 is 0.6782. And next b value is 0.5528. So here you will get x3 as 1.521122. Now see, compare the values. 0.6, 0.5. It is not matched at the first decimal only. Similarly x2 also, but x3 is matched up to first decimal place. So now you have to do next approximation. Since the approximations are not equal, you have to do the fourth approximation. So your fourth approximation is, take equation numbers. First equation, second equation, third equation. The substitutions for first equation are x2, x3. For second equation, x1, x3. For the third equation, x1, x2. Then here you will get the solution x1, x2, x3. So again press upper arrow 2 times. And here you have to enter the latest values of x2, x3. So the latest values for x2, x3 are 0.5526, 1.5212. 0.5526, 1.5212. So if you enter these values in your calc, this is 5526. And next C value is 1.5212. So now you will get x1 as 0.75011. And next you need x1 and x2, x1 and x3. So here the latest value for x1 is 0.7501. For x3 is 1.5212. Again take second equation by pressing upper arrow 2 times. Then press calc button. So here A is 0.7501. And next C value is 1.5212. Then x2 value is 0.5479. So here the latest values for x1, x2 are 0.75011, 0.5479. So now you have to calculate x3. To get x3, you have to get third equation on the screen. So press upper arrow 2 times. Then you will get the third equation on the screen. Now press calc button. Enter these values 0.75011. B is 0.5479. Then you will get Z value as 1.48699. So if you are comparing these values to the previous approximation 0.6782, here I got 0.75. There itself which fails the condition. So do the next approximation, fifth one. So take three equations, 1, 2, 3. First equation substitutions are x2, x3. For the second equation, x1, x3. For the third equation, x1, x2. So here you will get x1, x2, x3. So for the first equation, that means you need first equation on the screen. Press upper arrow 2 times, press calc button. Take the latest values for x2 and x3. The latest values for x2 and x3 are 0.5479 and here 1.4869. So if you enter these values in your calc, 0.5479 and 1.4869. Then you got x value as 0.7572. Now take this value here, 0.7572 and x3 value. The latest value for x3 is 1.4869 only. So now we need second equation on the screen. So press upper arrow 2 times, then press calc button. So now x1, that is 0.7572 and next C, that is x3, 1.4869. Then we got x2 as 0.5568. Now take these two values here, x1, x2 latest values 0.7572, 0.5568 in the third equation. So press upper arrow 2 times, then you will get the third equation on the screen. Here you enter the values of A and B, that is x1 and x2. So x1 is 0.7572 and next x2 is 0.5568. So then x3 is 1.4832. Now compare the values of the previous decimals. Here it is equal up to 0.75. It is equal up to 547. 547 is approximately 55 only. Next 486, 483. So the decimals here, the values are equal up to the two decimals with the previous approximation. Then you can stop the procedure and you can give the conclusion that the solution for the given system is 0.7572, 0.5568 and 1.4832. Like that you can solve the Gauss-Seidal method. See, we are doing the procedure in 2 steps only. In the first step, we are verifying the Gauss-Seidal application condition, that is diagonally dominated condition. And second step, in the second case, you have to verify, we have to separate the first variable from the first equation, second variable from the second equation, like that. The variables from the corresponding equation, you have to separate the variables. Then you will get some equations. That is the first step. In second step, you have to do approximations by substituting some particular values in the given equation. Like first equation, the substitutions are yz. For the second equation, x and z. For the third equation, x and y. By taking those substitutions, you will get the required values for x, y, z. But here remember one thing, always you have to choose the latest values for substitution. Then only you will get the required solution. So this is the procedure for Gauss-Seidal method. First, suppose if my equations are not diagonally dominated, that means my equations are like x plus 11y minus 2z equal to 71, 2x plus 4y plus 16z equal to 24, next 13x minus 7y plus 4z equal to 61. I may have the equations like this. Then can I apply the Gauss-Seidal method for this set of equations? It is not diagonally dominated. Here the first term, the coefficient is 1. 1 is not greater than 11. It is less than 11. Similarly, 1 is not greater than 2, less than 2. So it fails the condition. So whenever the system of equations are not diagonally dominated, you just interchange two equations and compare the condition. That means first I will interchange first and second equation. Then you will get 2x plus 4y plus 16z equal to 24. X plus 11y minus 2z equal to 71, 13x minus 2y plus 4z equal to 61. Now compare the conditions. Still here the first equation 2 is not greater than 4. It fails the condition. But see, 11 is greater than 1 and minus 2. So the second equation is clearly diagonally dominated condition. Next, third equation, 4 is not greater than 13. Still it is fails. One equation is satisfying here. In this case, all the three equations are fails the condition. Now here, second equation is satisfying diagonally dominated condition. Then the equations which are not satisfying, you interchange those two equations. That means rewrite these two equations by interchanging. Then you will get 13x minus 2y plus 4z equal to 61. I am not disturbing the second equation, that is x plus 11y minus 2z equal to 71, and next 2x plus 4y plus 16z equal to 24. Now see, 13 is greater than 2 and 4, 11 is greater than 1 and 2, 16 is greater than 2 and 5. So now here all the three equations are satisfying the condition of Gauss-Seidal method, like diagonally dominated condition. Since these equations are satisfying, now you separate variables from this set of equations only. That means here you have to separate x, here you have to separate y, here you have to separate z. At this step only, if you do then, if you separated the values of x, y, z, then you won't get the solution. So remember that only. If the equations are diagonally dominated, then only you apply the Gauss-Seidal method. You start the procedure of Gauss-Seidal method. Otherwise, you rearrange the equations until it's satisfying the diagonally dominated condition. So that's it. So with this concept, we covered all the topics on your first unit matrices. So in the next session, we'll discuss another concept. Thank you.